Hello and welcome back to Social Studio. You're here with your boy Tyrus, where we speak about all things audio. So today we're going to be doing quite a simple video. We'll be basically breaking down one of the most important tools in audio production, which is the compressor. So what's a compressor really? A compressor is basically a tool that controls audio dynamics. By that, I mean it takes the difference between the loudest parts of your audio signal and the most softest parts and basically levels them up to a certain level, giving you a much more consistent and level sound. The most common controls you find in a compressor will be your threshold, which is basically when it starts to engage, meaning as soon as the audio level reaches a certain signal, that's when the compressor activates. That's when it starts working, I would say. The other control you'll find is your attack, as to how quick it starts to work when the audio reaches that certain threshold, and the release as to how quick it stops working when the audio gets back below the threshold. Another common control you'll find in a compressor will be your makeup gain, because as long as you use a compressor, you must know it does change the audio level, because it does take the peaks bringing them down and the lows bringing them high, which basically changes the overall level. The makeup gain is basically there to combat that and actually compensate for that, which is basically bringing your audio level to that specific signal you started off at. So yeah, I'm not gonna speak a lot. I do have a private open here with the whole compression thing going on that I want to break down. But first, before we get into the box, I'd like for you guys to actually like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and share this video with a friend to help another engineer or a producer or even a musician. You never know. I do have a PDF version of basically everything I'll be explaining today. You can download it using the link in bio, and do follow us on all social media platforms, being Instagram, TikTok, as well as Threads, and where else are we? Here, YouTube. Subscribe, like, drop a comment down below of the other videos you'd like to see in the future. And yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so here we are with a young project. Yeah, here we are with a young project that I've put together. Basically, I have 4 different types of compressors. There's actually 5. I just don't have one all the time to explain it, but I'll tell you all about it. So what I have here is vocals, a guitar, bass, as well as drums. We're going to be actually compressing these instances. I'll do a little bit less talking this time and more doing. What we have here is a vocal. We'll start with the vocal and I'll explain to you what a FET compressor is. FET compressors are basically one of these guys. They usually distinct for their fast attack and fast release characteristics. Even though you put it on slow mode, it's still fast. The most commonly used one being the 1176. As you can see, I have it open here. I'm using the UAD version in this instance, but basically I wanted to run you through how it basically works instead of the plugins itself. It's in stock mode right now, very default mode. We'll be dialing it into this vocal. Here's the vocal, we'll be dialing it in.
You keep on falling.
This is our vocal without it.
You're falling too deep.
I'll engage it while it's happening.
I don't know why you're taking my spot. You're falling too deep, falling in love. You keep on falling.
This is it on.
You're falling too deep, falling in love.
This is it off.
I don't know why you're taking my spot. You're falling too deep, falling in love.
So as you can hear, when she goes love, it actually keeps it consistent to the loud parts like keep on. It keeps the peaks, these peaks over here, they basically controlled and tamed down. Should I actually freeze this so you can see what it actually does, how it changes it? Let me do that right now, quickly. It tamed these, and these low parts basically also turned up. Look at the breath as well. I'm gonna bring it back to unfreeze so you can actually see it. There we go. That's the difference now between the signal when it's compressed and not. And we've now just broken down the FET. You have the attack here, you have the release here, you have the ratios here. Input and output will basically work as your threshold. You have a headroom knob to control how much is coming in and out, and you have a mix. This is why I like this UAD one. It has a lot of controls in one. So The next compressor we're going to be looking at now will be the LA2A, which is basically an opto compressor. They refer to as opto compressors, and they do not basically have anything of some attack and release form. You only have the peak reduction as well as the gain. You can either limit or compress on it. Those are the two things you have. So in this instance, we're going to use a drum to demonstrate how they work. So we have this drum loop here, which I got from Sonic Drop by Pro Tools. Put the peak reduction on 0, make sure everything's in stock. So with this opto compressor, as soon as I engage it, it's going to add like 3 dBs of gain to my signal, which is standard because they're actually making up for the peak reduction you'll be doing. I don't know if it's with all of them, but with the UAD, that's what happens. So as soon as I turn it on, you'll actually hear the signal get a little boost. So let's run it. As you could hear that, I'm not going to explain much of what you just heard. Another thing I'll tell you, what I've realized from using this is the peak spots between 50 and 80. That's when you actually get a level matched signal, as well as some nice compression and a little bit of tube saturation, which it does give. This compressor does add a little bit of harmonics to your sound, even if you just turn it on. So keep in mind, it's different from your digital compressors. That's what I like about analog. That's what people always preach about when they preach analog, analog, analog. So let's check it out. As you can hear, it adds a lot of character to the drum. It actually brings it up front, in your face type of drums, which you hear in a lot of rock songs and a lot of hip hop songs. So that's how you achieve this. Another gem I'll give you guys right now is if you use this with the previous compressor I just explained, you get a really consistent sound, because this will basically give you that tube and thickness, while the previous compressor is basically taming your peaks and boosting your subtle parts. So yeah, put those compressors together and you have magic. Another compressor we're going to look at right now, which people like using a lot, is actually a tube compressor. These ones can actually drastically change the sound of your character. So we're going to actually put it on a guitar, and a rock guitar, and hear how that actually sounds. Why we're doing that is they're going to change the sound. I don't want you guys saying, you've completely squashed and ruined the song itself. That's why I'm actually doing it on a guitar, and you'll actually hear how it works. This is how they look. They may be looking intimidating because of all the analog characteristics and the realistic emulation of the knobs and all that, but they're pretty much the same. You have your threshold, you have your attack and release, which is put together here. Some of them have sidechain filters if you want to duck the kick, all those kinds of things. I'm not gonna do much on this. I'm just gonna actually compress and have you hear what it does to a guitar. I don't know if you hear that, but it adds a little bit of low end, of which I told you can duck with the side chain and choose a slope which you want to duck it with. But yeah, this is the Fairchild 670 by UAD, also another amazing plugin. UAD is really going hard. They got it in pocket right now. That's another one of them, the opto compressor. Seeing as though I've been running this video for too long, I'm just gonna do the final one right now, which is basically a bus comp. I love bus comps because you can basically use them to glue stuff together. They call them the glue. in your mix bars, in your drum bars. They're really subtle. They do have your attack and release, your makeup gain, as well as your threshold. Just as I explained, you can also duck the lows up to 500 dBs. I'm not gonna use this in instance because all my stuff is not put together, but say it was in a bus along with other stuff, just so you can hear the character, you know. Gonna do a very slow attack. That's it on. That's it off. Keep in mind that's also gain match, so you're not really boosting much of the dBs, but you're getting that fat in your face sound, you know. With all these things put together, you'd get a proper loop. That's pretty much the 4 compressors I would explain. Like I said, I do have one that I will mention that I didn't mention in this video, that I didn't actually run through in this video because I do not have it. I wish to have it. It's the distressor. As soon as I get the distressor, I will make a specific video on it. But right now, these are the 4 compressors I believe you guys should know about, and they should kickstart your game. Thank you guys for tapping in today with me. Once again, it's your boy Tyrus, Life of Tyrus on all social media platforms. Do follow me as well. Check out the music I've been making. I am an artist as well as an audio engineer. If you'd like to actually get one of your songs mixed or mastered by us, or you'd like to actually come to Social Studio and record, or at your own studio of your choice, feel free to reach out to us using the link in bio once again. And thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far, I believe you found something of use to this video, and I believe I do deserve a subscribe, right? I'll be seeing you guys in the next time. Don't forget to drink more water and keep making music. Peace.